Hi everyone, Natasha here, and around my home today I am in my office. We've had kind of a cloudy and warm start to the day, and there's supposed to be some storms rolling through at some point, so we'll see if that happens. Meanwhile, I'm up in my office and I want to share with you my current setup for the month of May, as well as a little bit of an update to how I'm using my planner and some of the systems I'm using to track my goals and projects. So stay tuned for that, and welcome to my office. Welcome back to my channel. I like to share things that hopefully help inspire and motivate others to keep working on making their homes a little better, simple living, healthy living, and of course, all things planner related. I am definitely a pen and paper lover, stationery lover, and have been my whole life. So currently I am using this nice large wraparound cover from Jane's Agenda in this beautiful hunter green color. And inside, I have my Discbound planner. I have updated to the 2-inch discs. Make sure you can see everything there. So I still am enjoying having this little notebook. I think this came in the April Deluxe subscription box from Jane's Agenda. I am a Jane's Agenda affiliate, so you'll find my links down in the description box of this video, including a discount if you want to buy something from Jane's Agenda and it's your very first order as a new customer. So I have lots of elements from the different deluxe subscription boxes. I've been subscribing since June of last year, and I'm really excited to get next month's box, which will make 1 year of receiving these boxes. And my birthday is in June, so it's also my birthday month. So it's just lots of fun to think I've got a really nice collection now of beautiful and functional planner supplies that I can pull from at any given point. Plus, I'm always getting new fun things to add to my planner, which helps me keep using my planner, keep getting in here, checking on things, and that to me is the whole point. So I just have this May, this was like just a wallpaper kind of card or deco card that came in the May Deluxe subscription box. I just have that tucked in there to kind of keep in theme with this beautiful bougainvillea floral design and architectural design. So I have my Ollie clip now holding my place marker for the May monthly setup. So let's go ahead and flip to that. And I'll just talk a little bit as I show you some things that I have set up about some of the updates and how I'm using some systems in my planner. So like I mentioned, I have this Ollie clip on here. This was another deluxe subscription box item from Jane's Agenda, and this is a vegan leather magnetic clip. And I'm using that to mark this monthly spread because that's what works really well for me. Is most of the time this is the first thing I'm going to flip to if I'm checking on something calendar related. So it's nice to have this marked and easy to find. I have all of my events and work schedule added, as well as my video schedule, some of my family schedule, and I really like using this column now for kind of my big goals and my recurring things that I want to make sure I'm getting done each week. Some of them are for my videos here on YouTube. Some of them are for my Jordan Essentials business. So it just helps me stay on top of those things as I'm going through any given week. And then I'm going to turn back a couple of pages and just show you how these have been filled out, because when I filmed my last video, this was all blank. So now I've updated and decorated this monthly dashboard that comes on the back of the monthly planner pages from Jane's Agenda. And I'll talk a little bit more about how I'm using this in just a minute. So I'll skim over that for right now. Basically, this top part for now just has the things that were on my radar for the first week of May. I've decided to kind of keep this a little more honed in on just what I'm working for at that current week. And then I set up my Getting Things Done grid over here. So these two together work in my Getting Things Done system in the version that I am using. So these are things that are more specific to location, errands, or contacts. And these are things that are more of like my collections, if you're familiar with the bullet journaling term, collections, but it's my long-term list that are just there. So these are orders I'm waiting on, and any projects or ideas I think of will go on that someday list. And the reverse side of that page is now set up with my personal month information from the Louise Hay Colors and Numbers system. And I'll have a video linked in the description below where I just talk about how I use this little book to help me with my monthly affirmation and my monthly focus, my monthly keyword, and then it also gives me a color scheme and an affirmation for each day of the month. So flipping forward, I'll show you the other side of this page. So I now have my monthly memories page set up. And here's where I want to kind of dive in a little deeper to what I'm using and why. So several months ago, I set up, just on a whim, a memory keeping page on the back of my monthly planner. And that month I loved it, I used it, I filled up the whole page, and I was so glad that I had that really fun collection of memories on the back of that calendar page, and it was fun and easy to use. Well, then a few months went by and I kept setting that page up but then never filling it out. So this month, what happened was for the last couple of months, I've needed printer ink, and I finally got some in. And so now this month I was able to print out the sticker sheet from the Prayerful Planner. And that's what I had been using for months and months, all of last year. And I realized as I did that and started using those little stickers in my planner that apparently I really like to have that little decorative element that I can see in my planner. So it wasn't enough for me just to label it May or label it, the month. I like the act of going in, finding a cute little sticker and putting that in there and then adding my memory. So now that I know that about myself, I think that'll help me going forward, because that really did make it enjoyable to use this memory keeping page the month that it worked well. And then I had a couple months where I didn't have printer ink, and so I didn't print out that sticker page. Now, granted, I have lots of other cute stickers, so I could have used something else, but it just wasn't occurring to me that that's why I wasn't using it. So anyway, so that takes care of the memory keeping page. Now, this page was the page last week, if you saw that video, the start of the weekly planning pages. And these are the executive weekly planning pages from Jane's Agenda, which are a new insert, and they'll be coming to the shop in July for everybody else. I got mine in a subscription box, so the subscribers got theirs early. And I really like it. I've decided that it's just enough planning for me to help me stay functional and keep on top of things. But even though I do like having one whole page to fill out each day, it sometimes made me plan too much and not do enough. So this is like just enough, but it keeps me kind of moving forward still. So anyway, this first page of that collection is a dot grid page, and I didn't know what to do with it. Well, I was watching a video about the Getting Things Done system, and I'll link it below because I feel like she really explains the system clearly and succinctly, and it just sort of re-energized my understanding of the system and also helped me think through how I'm going to tweak it and use it and what works best for me. So instead of doing just a general brain dump where I just have one long list and then I'm dividing out where things are going to go, my brain felt like I needed this. So I have divided up different sections. And so I was brainstorming and also looking back at April and the things that were unfinished. And I categorized those to-do items. Some of them are projects, some of them are just one element and one to-do item, into the different areas of my life. And it kind of helped me see, one, like what's on my radar as far as what do I have out there that I'm wanting to focus my time and energy on, but also if there's things that I know that I can only do in certain places or at certain times, then I felt like this will help me hone in on that a little bit better. Once I did this brain dump page and I gathered all the information as far as my projects and my active goals and things I wanted to work on, then I took this information and I broke it down to a different level. So some of it went over here, because if it was a contact or an errand, it went on these lists, and these will go with me through the whole month. And then I added anything that was a current project I was working on here, and it also helped me kind of think through my goals a little bit better. Then I looked at some of these projects and like what was the most urgent or what was something I wanted to work on that first week, and those were the items that went here. And in conjunction with that, the other thing I did was then to look forward at next week or the week that I was in, and I made this week list. So this was just anything that I felt like needed to get done this week based on these projects and goals that I had broken down. And that helped me too as I went through the week, because some days I really loaded up my to-do list because I felt like it was either urgent and important, or I had a lot of time and I wanted to get those things done. And you can see some days I didn't have much on there, but I got most of them done. And then in the end, when I get to the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are always a little bit open-ended. Like there's some things scheduled, there's some downtime scheduled. And so I'll just work on what's left as I can through these last 3 days of the weekend. But that helped me just to have this like general list here that I could look ahead at and say, okay, what am I needing to keep on my radar as I go through the week? So hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it as best I can. Essentially with the getting things done system, I like the concept of gathering all your things together and then sorting them and putting them where you're going to be using them. But I felt like for me, I also needed to take it that next step and really spread those things out on my calendar. So now going into next week, I have it set up where I'm going to go through what's unfinished and then also look ahead at any of those other projects that are still outstanding and see what I need to add just to my overall to-do list for the week. I've got my work schedule in here and just family events and things coming up. I've got my affirmations already set up. And the other thing that I did was I got my order in from the Jane's Agenda birthday sale. So I got 2 things that I wanted to try using as a tip-in in my weekly spreads. So this is actually a self-care tip-in, but what I'm using it for is my Fly Lady routines, because I wanted to really get the full capture of what my Fly Lady AM routine and PM routine looks like, or at least my goal for what it looks like. Most often I do about half of those things, but I always feel like it helps me to just remind myself, you are trying to get all of these things done if you can. So I have that now set up where I have my AM routine and PM routine. And I have been thinking about, I don't really feel like I need to track my activity or my water, at least not at this point in my life. I just have too many things going on. I drink plenty of water, so I'm just not worried about those right now. But I had thought that it could be a place to track my customer care contacts. So with my Jordan Essentials business, you know, sometimes I'll sit down and like reach out to 10 or 15 people at once, but I think it would be nice to maybe just do like 2 or 3 a day. And I thought, well, this could be something I try. Well, so I'll let you know if I decide to do that going into this next week. If I say, you know, like my goal is to contact 3 customers a day and just touch base, see how they're doing, you know, ask how life is going. And then if they have any questions or need any Jordan Essentials products, help them get that ordered. So then I could use those as kind of my touch points for keeping track of that as I go through each day of the week. And then the other page I filled out was this, which is also going to be a Fly Lady related tip in. So this was just a checklist on one side and a dot grid on the back. So the other thing that I was thinking is I can also kind of combine them. So I could just make the front side of this insert my AM and PM routine and then add this day of the week checklist on the back if I decide I want to do that. And also once I'm finished with this, I can just flip this one over and use the dot grid side for basically the same thing. So I'll just turn it over and have that there. But anyway, I decided I wanted to try doing it this way where I'm just kind of reminding myself, these are the things that work in my schedule with the Fly Lady system. And that's what I love about the Fly Lady system is it's totally flexible. You just make it work for you. So at this point in my life right now, this is kind of what's working for my weekly schedule. So I will let you know how that goes, having that available. But I felt like this is what I've been looking for between my cleaning trackers and like some of my other checklists, is just a quick, easy way to see my 2 routines for the day and then my focus for the day. So I have that added in as well. And after that, I think that's pretty much it. I don't have the next week laid out, but the thing that I feel pretty excited about, number 1, is using a few more stickers, is making it just feel fun to open up my planner and get in here and use it. And so touching base on these things is helpful. And then 2, I think having this new system where I'm kind of gathering up these task list items and these project items, you know, in this way so that it helps me break it out a little bit more detailed and actually get them done. I think that's going to work out well. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes. The only other thing I'll add too is, so last month on my someday list, I ended up with, well, I can show you. So in April, I ended up with several books that I wanted to read. Some of these are just like little projects that I do want to work on now in the month of May. Some of these are wish list items that are just kind of like, you know, as a reward for something. Maybe I'll buy this for my office or whatever. And then some of these are just really, truly things I need to do at some point in the month of May. So I looked at this someday list and I decided to migrate these all to whatever list was appropriate. So the action items are on my to-do list and on my project list so that those will stay on my radar for this month. And the things that are wish list items or books to read, I'm not a fast reader. I don't read a ton of books. So I felt like I don't need to keep migrating that list of the books to read every month. So instead, what I did was I went back here to my reference section, and this is where I'm keeping things like this time study that I started, and I may go back and work on that some more. I have my Louise Hay Colors and Numbers at a Glance page. This is just a Jane's Agenda size guide, which I thought was helpful. So now I've started a wish list. So these are things like related to, you know, where I would maybe want to have the item. That's my wish list there, and it's kind of a flexible page. These are a new insert that came out in the May box, so I'm excited to have that because I thought you could even just like brain dump it here or just have the list going here, but then go back later and like decide where you're going to put things, or you could use it lots of ways. And the back is divided this way. I added the books to my books to read list, and then I think that was it. So I just felt like it made more sense for me to migrate those things to my long-term reference section, which is what my notes section is. For me, it's the stuff that lasts way more than a month, and I'm just going to randomly come back to it at some point and check on things. So that is that. Let me flip back to the monthly spread just to give you one more look at how that came to be. And again, I really enjoyed using these stickers, so it was just fun to get in here with the stickers and kind of pretty up the pages. I did use some of the Erin Condren to-do stickers. That is my personal month page, and I love seeing this beautiful image on the left-hand side when I open this up too. So again, just having this Jane's Agenda insert and these dashboards where it just makes it feel like my planner is specific to me and it's pretty, but it also still has all the function. Those are the things that make me want to keep opening it up and seeing like, what am I supposed to be doing today, or what's on my radar for this week, that kind of thing. So anyway, I hope that made sense, first of all. And secondly, I hope that was just fun for you to see how I'm using my planner this week and this month. And again, check out the description box. I'll have several of those videos linked below, as well as my Jane's Agenda affiliate link. So if you want to check out getting the deluxe subscription box, there are 2 other subscription options. You can just get the cover or subscription, or you can get the lifestyle and planner subscription. So there's all kinds of information on that down below as well. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back on Tuesday for another Tiny Tidy Tuesday video, and we're reaching a fun midpoint in my giant project of cleaning out my basement. So be sure to come back and check that video out. And then on Friday, I'll be back for a beautifully organized in 52 weeks video, and we're still working on the living room, but we're about finished. So come back Friday and see what we'll be working on with that. And other than that, I hope you have a great day, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.